financially, you got to be disciplined. When you get a bunch of trucks and they see all the money and they're like, oh, yeah, I have this amount of money. Shit could happen where you need that money to float you or keep you rolling when things aren't so well. Hey, if you made $1 million, take 200,000 and keep it or whatnot. And that 800, let it sit. Trust me.
Right.
You'll use it, or you'll find a way, or it'll benefit you another way. Big thing, equipment serious, drivers serious. These are the things that make or break trucking. This is Damian Shepard with Shepard Trucking. You are now watching Trucking Hustle.
As well.
That's
so
correct.
You have to purchase
a box truck.
Okay, got you. So now that all comes together. All right. So prior to that, when you were a salesman, did you have to have the box truck?
Yes.
Okay.
Always had the box truck.
So when you did that, you said you didn't have to pay for that. Who provided the box truck at that point?
You had to buy the box truck. You had to come in with a box truck.
Got it. Okay, now it's all clicking. All right,
yes.
So you come in with the box truck, they provide the routes, but the routes are free, and now you have to go ahead and build relationships with these vendors. Now you have to buy them, so now you have box trucks already.
That's correct.
Okay, so how many box trucks did you have?
2.
2 box trucks. Okay, got you. Now talk to me about just the logistics in that. Was that a difficult thing to do?
Absolutely. You give up a lot of family time. We made 20% of whatever we sell, so there was no set, salary or anything. You don't sell, you don't eat. There's no sick days. There's no days off. You work 7 days a week. You must keep your store shelves full. If you're not selling product, it's not happening.
Yeah.
You're not making money. And so it was 11 years of 7 days a week.
How many stores did you deliver on your route, like at peak?
Oh my God. I'd say on a daily average, we see 15 stores a day.
Okay.
Sometimes on the heaviest, 20, 25 stores a day.
Okay. So as you grew throughout the years, did you remain with 2 box trucks, or did you start to grow and add more?
Remain with 2 box trucks.
Okay.
They wouldn't allow, actually, they didn't even allow more than 1 route. We were lucky because my wife grabbed another route.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
1 route was in my name, 1 route was in her name.
So is it 1 truck per route? Is that how it kind of works?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, got you. All right, so you're working with, what's the name of the Snyder Foods,
Snyders
right?
of Hanover.
Snyders of Hanover,
the
and you're
pretzel
delivering
company.
snacks to different stores.
You got it.
All right, cool. So tell me about the business growth. You say you do it for 11 years.
11 years.
All right, and I'm assuming it's a pretty good business if you stick at it for 11 years.
Yep, absolutely.
Why'd you stop doing it?
Amazon came.
Okay.
That's a good
Tell
story.
me about that.
All right, so after selling snacks forever, it's and snacks is a hard job, and a lot of people didn't know it's long days, 14-hour days, 15-hour days, just like trucking.
Yeah.
Except they're physical.
Right. One more thing before were you driving the trucks?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you were in the trucks.
And my wife.
And your wife.
And my wife.
Because that's important.
Very.
You didn't have no employees yet.
No.
So you and your wife have these
towards
2
the
trucks.
end we started getting them. I'll explain.
Okay,
Yeah.
got you. So you guys are driving these trucks, delivering these snacks all throughout Milwaukee, Wisconsin area, right?
Yep, in the Milwaukee area.
Yep. Okay, continue.
All right. So a friend of mine says, hey, Amazon is coming here. I said, Amazon, don't they sell books? He's like, no, they sell everything. I'm like, I didn't know, I didn't know too much. I didn't do too much Amazon stuff. I was always working. I had no time for anything. Family, sleep. And he said, hey, they're looking for box trucks. He was like, I know you got a couple trucks. Maybe you can do this too. And they had a seminar or meeting or whatever, and I went to it, my wife and I. And we sat down, and one of the guys that was running the Amazon in this area called MKE5, he says, hey, we'll pay you XYZ to run pallets to post offices, line haul. All right. I said, okay, that sounds good to me. I'll do something like that. And it was 3rd shift.
Okay.
So we would sell snacks during the day, get a couple hours of sleep, and run night.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Very, very, very crazy.
Very. And dangerous.
Absolutely. This is before we understood the laws of trucking.
Right. So this is non-CDL box trucks?
Non-CDL box trucks, under 26,000.
Okay, got you.
Yep. So I said, okay, Chris, we're going to do the snacks, and we're going to do this too. So my wife and I started with 2 box trucks, so we started running 2 routes. And I started seeing the money, and I was like, diesel then was, well, it was a little crazy then. I must admit, when we first started, it started creeping up to $4. But it came back down.
Right.
And I said, man, this is some real good money. Now, this is the beginning. This is not Amazon now.
Right.
This is the beginning.
Right.
So I said, wow, this is in 2014.
Got it.
Okay. End of 14. I said, wow, this is good money. So we were working 20 hours a day, snack stuff plus Amazon.
FreightFest.com. Listen, y'all. November 4th through the 6th, Houston, Texas. FreightFest is coming.
And I'd say about 6 to 8 months or so in, it's time to make a decision.
Okay.
I had to stop
too much. Yeah.
Or go full Amazon, or something had to give. It was just too much.
Yeah.
And we're already not seeing the kids. Already got live-in, babysitter. It's just getting crazy.
Yeah.
So I said, Chris, well, what do you want to do here? She's like, well, she said, I think we should go full force with Amazon. And it was scary.
Right.
This is new.
Because you've been doing this for 11 years.
You're right. And
this new opportunity was just fresh.
Correct.
It look good now, but we don't know what it's going to look like 11 years from now.
You got it.
Right.
You got it. So, we're a little worried. I said, okay, well, what can we sell these routes for? So over the years, we built up the equity in the routes, and the routes were worth about $150,000 a piece.
Okay.
So I said, okay, Amazon's asking us for more and more trucks. All right. So I said, okay, well, if we sell these if we sell these routes, we can add more trucks, and we can push them over to Amazon.
Right.
I said, okay, well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. So we sold our routes with Snyders. All right. Sold them.
Yeah.
So now we have this cash.
Okay. You said 150,000, right?
150,000 each.
So you got 300.
300 grand.
Okay. Got it.
I need to drop a bomb one time. I need to drop a bomb 2 times. FreightFest.com. Listen, y'all. November 4th through the 6th, Houston, Texas. FreightFest is coming. Houston, we have a problem. Listen, I need everybody, all my transportation and logistics, entrepreneurs, all my go-getters, all the money getters, everybody who's trying to make their life better, everybody who's trying to level up, everybody who's for this generational wealth, to pull up, to pop out. Freight Fest is gonna be a movie. Who's gonna be there? Everybody's gonna be there. Check out the speaker list. It's still growing. We still adding. Freight Fest is going crazy. Houston, Texas, November 4th through the 6th. Make sure you grab your tickets. The link is in the bio. I can't wait to see each and every one of you there. Let's go.
So we're like, well, we're going to buy these trucks, and we're going to add more trucks, And we said, wait, let's not buy them. Let's start leasing them first. Because if something, and renting.
Yeah.
Because if something happens, our money's not tied up.
How'd you know about that as an option?
Once you started seeing all the new carriers, they had all these rental trucks.
Gotcha.
And you see them on the dock, and you're like, oh, they're renting those. Okay. You start seeing what the rates are for renting versus buying something new. And you're like, okay, yeah, it's a little more to rent, but your uncontrollable cost becomes controllable because all the maintenance and everything else is covered by them.
Right.
All right. So it's like, okay, all right, we'll start renting. So we started renting, and truck after truck after truck, and we started growing fast. Very, very fast. Okay. Remember, we've only been trucking almost it'll be 9 years in October.
Yeah.
Would that be?
Yeah.
That's a very short time in how fast we grew with trucks, with everything. So Amazon started rolling, and it was great. It was great. We started
doing the same thing, still doing the pallets?
The line haul.
Yep. Just one
office, straight from Amazon to a post office.
Okay.
We had all of northern Wisconsin. We had everything. We had the whole northern Wisconsin sold up. That was ours.
Got it.
Yep. We were one of the first carriers. We're the OG carrier in the building.
Got it.
When we started, the doors weren't even hung yet. It was docks just open.
So was this opportunity kind of because Amazon was in an area where there wasn't really a lot of
Correct.
a lot of game. You know what I'm saying? It's like you guys were the only game in town.
That's correct. Yeah.
So you had a great opportunity.
Great opportunity.
Okay.
And we jumped on it.
Okay.
It was time.
Okay. Got it. So you start scaling up. How many trucks do you start scaling up? Do you scale up to with the rentals and your own and so forth?
Yeah. All of a sudden you start looking up and it's like we started with, we got to 2 and we got to 4, 5, 6, 8. And we're 10, 12 trucks the first year. Then 15, 20, you start rolling into the next year. Then we started opening new locations for them. Like in Minnesota, where they would send us out there, we would bring 30 trucks out there.
Okay.
Yep. So we would run 30 trucks, 30, 40 trucks here, and we'd run 30, 40 trucks in Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was
Okay.
crazy.
Okay.
And
So-
this,
Go ahead.
and this is all within, a 1, 2, 3 year span.
A couple of years.
That's it.
All right. So now you guys have start hiring.
Yeah.
So tell me about that process, because before you guys were doing it by yourselves as a
Absolutely.
team. Where do you find drivers?
Ooh, that's a learning curve.
Yeah.
We learned a lot from Amazon, and Amazon taught us a lot of discipline as well, as far as times and being on time, being punctual, being accountable for everything. And you started getting drivers, and you don't know the game yet. You're in trucking, you're like, oh, like I can drive this box truck. Anybody can drive this. It's simple. It's
Right.
26-foot box truck. It's 13.5 feet high. Like, understand you can't go under this bridge because it's 10 feet. You know what I mean? You think. You think that everybody thinks like that.
Right.
No, sir.
Yeah.
We were in for a rude awakening. In the beginning, a lot of accidents, a lot of problems, crashes, people, knocking the tops off of these trucks, hitting trees, hitting bridges, hitting cars, and you start to say, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? When we first started, there was no safety meetings and all that type of stuff. You didn't understand that yet.
Right.
It's new. We had no game from anyone. We came in the trucking with nothing. No type of understanding or the FMCSA. We didn't understand who they were and how powerful they were.
Right.
Well, we know that it's another government entity. No, we didn't know. Hours of service, compliance. We didn't do any of that. Logs, we didn't. Let's go.
Right.
Get in the truck. Yeah, run 20 hours because I can do it. Everybody can.
Yeah.
It's not the case.
Okay.
It's not the case, and we learned.
And on the flip side as well, Amazon was still kind of in the infant stages of their business, so they're grading. They weren't grading you as hard as they would grade you now.
That is correct.
Right?
That is correct.
So there's a lot of things you guys are probably able to get away with.
That is correct. Back then, there was no type of. They didn't look at your CSA scores or look at anything on the FMCSA. They didn't do any of that.
Right.
That didn't matter to them.
They're trying to figure it out still themselves.
Correct. Until FMCSA and the government started looking at them and say, hey, it's a lot of shit going on with your load on the back of these trucks.
Right.
What is going on? What are you doing to mitigate the problems?
Right.
And that's when they started their scoring system in their compliance department and
Got it.
and making sure you're doing what you're supposed to do on the safety side.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you might be the reason for those tough grading scores on Amazon, man. It might be Shepard Trucking.
I'm one of them. I know I'm not the only, but I'm one of them.
Definitely one. So you said you guys grew so big they started sending you out to other places to open up other locations.
Absolutely. When Shakopee, Minnesota opened, we sent 30 trucks, 32 trucks out there.
Still renting?
Still renting.
Still renting trucks?
Still renting, yeah.
Okay.
Still renting at that time.
Okay, got you. So how many locations you guys end up opening up for them?
Just 2.
2?
Because how that went, I'll never do it again.
What happened?
When you're doing something so far away, you start to lose control. You try to appoint someone you can trust to run that operation, and it doesn't go right.
Got it.
And the driver situation in Minnesota was nuts. Was nuts. It was hard.
Got you.
Very
so you
hard.
had a lot of issues.
A lot of
in
issues
Minnesota.
up there. But we made it happen. Amazon paid a ton of money. At the time, they'll pay you $1,000 a day if the truck go across the street.
Got it.
It doesn't matter. It can go 2 miles with one envelope. That's what that Amazon built what we have today. Yeah, that's where that was the seed money we needed to start Shepard Trucking.
Got you. So how long did you stay at the other location before you shut that down? Like pulled the
In
trucks
Minnesota,
out? In Minnesota,
we stayed there a year and a half.
a year and a half.
Yep.
Okay. Now what about here?
We've been here and we're still here.
So you
since
still
14.
do Amazon now?
I still do Amazon now.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you grow with Amazon, like you said, that's the seed. They got everything started.
Absolutely.
But as we talked about in the beginning, that's not the only thing you guys do. So at what point did you say, all right, box trucks are cool, but there's other things to do out here? What was the inspiration for that? Tell me about that.
Absolutely. So about 3 years in, we wanted to start getting into the big rigs because our northern routes started to explode. And it originally started with Amazon coming to us saying, hey, your northern routes, your big areas, your Green Bay, your Appleton, the high volume areas, we're tired of spending money on 6 box trucks going to the same spot. If you don't do tractors, we have to move those routes to somebody that will do a tractor. And I said, well, we can't let that happen. Right. This is our area.
Right,
I mean, we've been taking care of this area for 3 years straight, strong. One of the best carriers in the building. It's like, let's go.
Yeah.
I said, okay. I didn't have my CDL. I went to the dealer and bought a tractor, drove it home illegally.
Okay.
Parked it in my driveway, went and took my written test. And here in Wisconsin, you got to wait 14 days before you can take your road test. Waited my 14-day wait period, took a road test, and got my Class A.
Okay.
After I got my Class A, I started running routes.
So you jumped in the truck. Now, as you guys grew, were you still driving?
Yes, sir.
So even when you guys started expanding with all those different box trucks for Amazon, you guys still drove
Still
yourselves?
drove.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you were no strangers to driving at this point once you get the big truck, the semi truck.
Absolutely.
All right.
We'll jump in a box truck, a semi truck, whatever, cube truck, whatever it took to take care of those routes.
Okay. Okay.
That's what made this all happen.
Got you. So you jump in the semi, and now you're pulling loads for Amazon still.
Yep. Still pulling loads.
What are you pulling for them?
Now, this is still line hauls.
Still line hauls.
Still same line haul.
Same stuff.
Same stuff.
Okay.
Yep, same stuff.
All right. So tell me about how that starts to grow.
Yep. So that was our first tractor. And after that, I said, oh, well, Chris, this is pretty good. We started adding more. Amazon wanted more tractors. Then we started servicing Iowa. And we started, the tri-state area, Minnesota, started sending tractors there, just line hauls. Because their distribution center, MKE5, was the biggest in the tri-state area at the time.
Right.
Now they're everywhere. They're popping up like,
crazy.
like weeds in the grass. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And so we used to service those from MKE5 back and forth. And Amazon rates started to fall because they started to secure a lot of capacity of people that don't understand when they're not making money. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
A lot of new people that didn't understand that, listen, you're just shuffling money around. Did you make money? And they don't understand that, but Amazon will use that. And they create, their own market.
Right.
And so rates started to fall. And we're like, whoa. Like, what's going on? Oh, well, if Joe Blow Trucking over here can do it for that, why can't you?
Right.
And they're not comparing apples to apples. I have new equipment. I invested in this. This is when we're starting to buy trucks now.
Yeah.
We have new equipment, and we have, great guys that we pay. Start to weed out the bad ones, the ones that are hitting shit and flipping trucks over and all that. You start to learn.
Yeah.
And those quality drivers cost. And Amazon gets to a point where they don't care about what they cost. And so you go back and forth with that. And I said, hey, my wife and I talked. We said, well, we have to figure out a way to diversify. We can't keep our eggs in one basket. We cannot do it. We cannot allow Amazon to dictate our future.
Yeah.
I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love Amazon. They started us, like I said. But at the end of the day, they're business, and I have to keep it business too. So I said, well, we got to start getting these big trucks and running our own freight outside of Amazon. We'll use Amazon as well when the money's right, but we need to grow outside of Amazon.
Right.
Right. So it gets scary because you have so much equipment and you're so embedded in their business that when they start moving money around, it gets scary because you owe the bank millions of dollars. And when they start fluctuating on rates, you're like, shit, what do I do here?
Yeah.
What do I do here? You
Yeah.
You can't tell the bank, hey, I can't pay you because Amazon cut my rates.
Right.
I don't want to hear that.
Right.
Nobody's hearing that.
That's a fact.
So it's we said, okay, well, start getting big trucks, and we started auto hauling too.
Okay. So when you get into the big trucks and you start looking outside of the Amazon freight, where do you look to for the first couple loads that you guys pull and so forth?
Sure. First thing, low board.
Okay. Jump on low board.
Jump on low board.
Okay.
You
Did you get trailers?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. When we started Amazon Line Hauls, they had no trailers.
So you guys already had trailers.
We had trailers.
From purchasing for Amazon.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We usually run 2 trailer. Our ratio is 2 trailers, 1 truck.
Yep.
And that's how we would buy it. 1 truck, 2 trailers.
Okay.
And keep it, because Amazon had no trailers then.
Okay.
Their trailer pool was so small, they had none in our yard, even back then.
Got it.
Now it's
crazy.
You're hauling their trailers. They don't even got
100%.
time.
You gotta have that little arrow on the side.
That's correct.
You ain't pulling for Amazon.
That's correct.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So you jump into you go jump on a load board.
Yep. Jump on a load board.
How was that? Was it tough?
It was tough in the beginning, but then you start to build those relationships with brokers. You start to build relationships with direct customers. It's good to have a mixture of both. You know what I mean? People, you got to blend brokers with direct customers. You got to always fight for, that balance, So it was like, it was okay. You get your set of brokers that understand that you're here to make the money. And at the end of the day, you can't give me a rate that I'm going to break even on. You know what I mean?
Right.
They will try that.
That's a fact.
Or they want you to go negative on,
Yeah.
And they have to understand what type of company you are, what you stand for. You know what I mean? Once you get that relationship understood, you'll always locate and have a good relationship with the right brokers.
Got it. So you started with dry vans?
Dry vans, yeah.
Out there? Okay.
Yep,
Any
dry vans.
particular customers or anything that you guys were able to connect with that were kind of like another Amazon that was like
not as consistent
level? Okay.
Not as consistent. We haul it's Amazon. That's where they really get you. They're consistent. You know what I mean? Amazon is consistent, and they have. Now it's different now, but when I was going, when we were doing a ton of Amazon, there's never a day a truck comes in and they tell you we don't have nothing for you. Never.
Right.
Never. Now they'll cancel your load while you're on the dock.
Right.
It wasn't nothing like that then.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to deal with too much of that. It was nobody's consistent as Amazon, but it's been great. We have some good customers. We love them. They do a ton of work with us, and I couldn't ask for nothing better.
Got it. All right. So now you start purchasing semis. How many semis do you kind of grow to?
We grew to about 36 semis.
Okay.
65 box trucks.
Now, and those 36, you're purchasing all of those?
These are all bought.
Why are you now purchasing as opposed to the lease model that you use with Amazon? What was the difference?
Now, we were making enough money where we can control the maintenance and everything else at a much cheaper cost than the dollar amount it would cost on a lease plan with the mileage adding up. So it was getting to a point where we built this. We built this facility.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, I had a couple guys that were diesel mechanics, and I said, hey, let's bring them in, and we'll do our own diesel mechanics. We'll do our own PMs and so on and so forth, our brake chain, our own DOTs and everything like that.
Okay.
All the simple work we'll do in-house. Okay. Anything major we'll do at a dealer, But that was the best way to go at that time. And I said, well, and I feel like that's the best way there is to go,
Okay.
Because
there's a lot of different,
Sure.
People say different things, right?
Correct.
People say
correct.
leasing is the way to go when you want to scale up, and
Correct.
some people say buying is the way to go. So it's
Correct.
interesting.
Correct. It is. I gotta say, leasing is nice when you want to scale up because, like I said, that uncontrollable cost begins to get a little mitigated because you don't look up and you need a motor or a transmission or you need this. That's not a worry for you.
Right.
You turn it in, give me a new truck.
Right.
So what I did was I believe in new equipment. Okay, just me. Anybody else can tell you different. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with their opinion and how they run their business. But for me, new equipment all day.
Yeah.
2 people you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay the bank or the mechanic. I'd rather pay the bank.
Gotcha.
Why? Why would I rather pay the bank?
Why would you rather pay the bank?
All right. Consistency.
Yeah.
New equipment commands consistency. Drivers love new equipment. Good drivers do.
Yeah.
And that's a good marketing tool when you're talking with a customer. Hey, listen, our oldest unit is a 2020. The chances of breaking down with your load on the back is slim to none. And if it does, we have our own towing company that will haul another rig to the scene and get you going. We'll pull out the truck that's got a problem. We'll hook up a new one, get that driver on the road.
Yeah.
And that's the consistency is key in trucking.
Right. And you had to have a great relationship with a bank and credit. I'm sure that played the big part in it.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely.
Like just being able to finance these trucks. Like
sure.
What's your strategy? And because I mean, that's a lot, 36 units.
Yes.
All finance.
Yes.
So what's your strategy?
Yep. It was once you have a relationship with one financial institution, you'll start to get more. You know, in the beginning, it's hard because it's not like it used to be. You know how people use the word business credit? Okay. You got to be careful with that because it's not like what it used to be. Business credit used to be, you can just go get a tax ID number, blah, blah, blah. That's a separate entity. Now it can build its own credit. They don't look at it. Banks don't look at it like that no more. They know someone's running that. How is your credit? How is your personal credit?
Right.
They want to know that first.
Right.
Because that's going to dictate how you're going to run that business.
Right.
You know, if you're not paying your We Energies bill now, what makes you think you're going to pay this bill?
Yeah, that's a fact.
So in the beginning, it was a little hard, you know, business. But I must say the snack business helped because they knew I was in business already for so many years. And we owned those trucks. We financed them and we paid them off. And, you know, they said, okay, we can kind of take more of a chance with this guy.
Okay.
And my personal credit is excellent. So they're like, okay, well, let's do that, you know. Truck, no problem. 0 down. Here you go. Take it.
0 down.
Go. Yeah. Ever since then, just name how many we need. We got 10 coming next week. It's
yeah.
They don't care. Show us the financials. I mean, I probably showed financials maybe 2 or 3 times in the last 7 years.
Right.
They start to know who you are, what you stand for, how you pay your bills, to give you anything you want.
Got you. So that relationship with that one institution is key. And showing that past performance, they know you have run a good business, you have good structure set up.
Absolutely.
And you're good to go.
Good to go.
So everything is 0 down. You got to put nothing down on
0 down. 0 down.
Not the first one though.
First one
was 0 down too.
0 down.
Because they looked at the other stuff.
That's correct. Business. That's correct.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Then they start learning how you are, what you do, and it's endless from there, you know. Now, sometimes you choose to put some money down because you got an older unit that you're going to trade in. You'll take that equity, roll it onto the new unit. That's your down. Or you can take a check. I'd rather just roll it onto the new unit, have a smaller payment, and, you know, maybe, you know, could you have walked away with 50, 60,000, you know, whatever, on an equity check on the old unit? Sure. But why not just throw that on the new unit and have cheaper payment and have a truck that's, you know, 1/3 paid for, you know?
Yeah.
So
how do you look at paying these trucks down? Because that's a lot to carry in terms of debt.
Sure.
So what's your strategy to pay these trucks down?
Sure, absolutely. I don't pay nothing extra. How you like that strategy?
I love it.
Pay the payment.
Pay the payment.
You know why?
Why?
Because I'm out of them in 2 or 3 years.
Okay. Got you.
That's it.
Right.
Whatever equity they have in them, I'll roll it over to the next truck, and
that's that.
That's that.
Okay.
New equipment.
Keep on keeping new equipment.
By the time you take over a 12-month span of that old unit that you bought that was in the shop 7 times, now taking into consideration you had to buy you had to get a rental truck. What did that cost you?
Right.
Your downtime. You know what I mean? What loads did you miss? You know what I mean? And then the cost of fixing these trucks is no joke.
Right.
It's nothing to have your truck break down as 10, 15,000. How much is a payment on one of these new ones? $2,000.
Crazy. Yeah.
$2,000.
Yeah.
Now do $2,000 times 12. You got 3 breakdowns that cost you 15, 20,000. You were paying for a brand new truck that could have been rolling already.
So every 3 years you're in something new.
All the time.
And how much are you usually able to apply to the next set of equipment in terms of for the truck?
Usually, now this recent one was real nice. Okay. Because you've seen the equipment market.
Crazy.
It was crazy.
It's doubled.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
We were able to get 80,000 in equity on our 18s and 19s. You know, so I was able to roll that over.
That's crazy. You killed it on this time around.
Yeah, we have 2023s coming, and we just got 4 2023 Peterbilts that just came. And
but on the flip side though, you killed it on the equity in your truck, but the other trucks were still expensive as well. You know what I'm saying?
Because I ordered them a year ago.
Okay.
It's nothing to order the trucks. Yeah. And when they come, you can say, no, I don't want them anymore. Or you can say yes.
Wow.
That's game true. Now. It's close.
That's definitely some game. Yeah. So
before the inflation, I beat the inflation. I still got them at $145,000 a unit. They're going for $250 right now a unit.
But that wasn't intentional. That was luck.
That was luck. But I always do that luck because I never know what I need, and it's so hard to get the new equipment. So I always order ahead. You can simply tell them I don't want them. They're fine with that.
Do you have to put a down payment?
0.
So
Word.
so you just let them know that you want these trucks in a year, and then you're locked in.
Correct.
To that.
As long as you commit to 50%.
You have to commit to 50%.
That's correct. So if I say I need 20 trucks, you must at least get 10.
Okay.
That's our deal.
And if for some reason you don't uphold your side of the deal, what would happen to you?
You're in violation.
Okay. But in violation with who? I mean, the bank.
No, just period. Just your word now.
Right. Okay. Got you.
I mean?
Now that the relationship that we talked about is now tarnished.
That's
because
correct.
you didn't do what you said you were going to do.
That's correct. Your word is bond.
Your word is bond.
Yeah, you got to stick.
Okay. So, but they make you sign off on that though?
No.
It's just your word.
Just your word.
Okay. Because you said you got to commit to it, so you don't really have to commit.
Now, if you're new, you're in the game, they might make you sign off.
They
might want you to have a proof of funds and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Once they know you, man. Once you start stumping big, they understand and they respect it.
Wow. That's dope, man. That's dope. You said you got 10 on the way.
20.
Now, 20 on the way.
Yeah. We just got 9 of them.
Okay. So what are you scaling up for now? What's going on?
We're just growing.
Just growing?
Yeah, we got rid of some old units earlier this year when the time was right.
Yeah.
A lot, we were dealing with all the COVID, a lot of driver issues and stuff. I said, well, if they're sitting here and they're worth a lot of money, let's sell them because our new units that we ordered a year ago is on their way.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll roll them out.
Gotcha.
And we did.
Okay. And what are you guys doing in terms of like the general freight now? What's like your main commodity that you haul?
All dry.
All dry?
Yeah, we really don't touch any hazmat or anything like that. We do we do have 4 reefer trailers. We run just some food here and there, north and back. North to south and back. But 95% of our business is all dry freight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And mostly load board. What would you say load board to direct customer ratio?
I'd say 1/3.
1/3 is load board?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yep.
And the other 2/3 would be direct relationships that keep
Absolutely.
you guys rolling. How has the market been for you guys recently with everything going on? I mean, we know fuel is up.
Fuel up, rates are going down.
Rates are down. So how's that impacted you?
Absolutely. Fuel is brutal.
Yeah.
I can't sit and say it's nothing but brutal. Fuel is very, very, very expensive. But once you build that good relationship with your customers, they understand where they need to move with the rates.
Yeah.
You get the ones that don't want to move and they want to fish for the guys that are going out of business because they don't, again, understand that they're losing money.
Right.
When you get that type of customer, you take care of them, and we have those type of customers. They understand, hey, we gotta go up 10%, 20%, 50% sometimes when we wait too long.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they understand. Some don't. You dodge that freight. That's it.
There you go.
You dodge it. It's we're paying this. Sorry, we can't do it for that.
Right. What other things are you doing to save, man? Because it's all about how much you keep, right?
Absolutely.
So what adjustments have you guys made in this market to kind of keep things going?
We have an in-house account here for fuel. We're actually going to bring fuel on site here next year, but we have an in-house account that we do a ton of business with. We used to do 40,000 a week or so with fuel with them.
Okay.
And they give us the steepest discounts because they're like a mom and pop.
They deliver fuel to you.
Correct.
Okay.
No, we go there.
Oh, okay.
But it's in our path of
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Got it.
So they treat us the best because we spend so much. All our trucks are governed at 70 miles an hour. That helps a ton.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started, we didn't have nothing governed. You didn't understand.
Right.
And when I started ordering all these trucks, I'm like, listen, dealership, start governing all these trucks at 70 miles an hour, everything.
Yeah.
And when we did that, $5,000 a week saved in fuel.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I said,
that's crazy.
$5,000 a week. I said, oh yes, this is what happens. This is what has to happen. And
Makes sense.
We governed every piece of equipment we own.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, got you. What else? Give me some other things you guys are doing to save.
Oh man, what else? The equipment's always governed.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to save per se. we continue to do the same thing we always do. We try not to take loads that are ridiculously far that they don't compensate for the fuel. You know, we stay away from those flat rate loads that they don't understand what the fuel cost is. Fuel is a necessary evil. It's like insurance.
All right, guys, listen, before we continue the show, I gotta give a shout out to our sponsor and our partner, OTR Solutions, formerly OTR Capital. But listen, guys, OTR is much, much more than just a factoring company. They provide so many solutions to help the small carrier not only get into business, but to stay in business and maintain, right? So you guys have to partner with them and check them out. Don't take my advice for it. Talk to their clients, right? Talk to their clients. Find out what the people are saying. Everybody will tell you the same thing. So make sure you give OTR Solutions a call at 470-900-3338 or click the link in the bio below. Make sure you check them out and tell them Truck and Hustle sent you. Right.
You got to have it.
That's a fact.
So it's just, you got to be more mindful of what you're taking.
Okay.
That's it.
Got it. All right. When do you transition into car hauling? Was that the next vertical?
That was the next.
Okay.
Yeah. Next thing was car hauling. Car hauling, it was maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
About 3 years ago now. And something different. Like you said, you know, you like your niches, right?
Yeah, I love the niches.
Yeah. So try a little something different. I'm a big car guy. I used to race across the country and stuff like that. So it was one of those things where I was sitting at the racetrack and I'm like, damn, a car hauler pull up and it's like, why don't we do something like that? You know, it was enclosed. It was cool. Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and all this crazy stuff coming out. And I'm like, let's do that.
Right.
So we bought 2 car haulers.
Okay.
2 enclosed Kentucky trailers. $250,000 per trailer.
Ooh, nice.
And hooked them to, $150,000 Freightliner. And we started hauling all the exotics.
Okay.
All the classic cars, all the Lamborghinis, Ferraris, all the crazy, $1 million units. And that was awesome.
Very different business, though.
Very different.
Right.
Very different driver as well.
Right.
They're an
definitely
operator.
different driver, operator, and different business in terms of how you get freight, how you connect with these. So how did you purchase the car hauler first, or did you connect with somebody first to know you'd be able to get the cars?
Well, throughout the times, some of the exotic cars that I bought personally, I established relationships with all these exotic dealers around here, and they knew me and they knew how I was, and they were like, hey, when I was at the track and I talked to a few of them, they're like, man, you should really start doing this because I know you really care about the cars,
Right.
And so I knew a lot of people first.
Okay.
Then we started hauling them, and it was crazy. It was fun to see, you got a trailer going down the road with $10 million in it of cars, and it was fun. It's just one of those things that I love cars, so that fit.
Worked. It resonated.
Absolutely.
What were some of the challenges getting into that business?
Challenges, operators, always drivers, right? The challenge is guys being over the road too long. People don't like to be over the road, nowadays.
Right.
Old school trucking, they're out for a month.
Facts.
Right.
Yep. No big
trucking
deal.
now.
They want to go home.
You're lucky you get a guy for a week.
That's true.
Yeah. And these guys will be out 2-3 weeks. And it's kind of hard because you need to wait for cars to come up, and you kind of gotta circle them around, create a route coast to coast. And that was hard. It was hard on their families and their personal life. They were great guys, great operators. Just it was real hard on their personal life.
Right.
And when you get that, it just don't work,
Got you. So these the exotics and stuff, you're delivering them to like houses?
Houses.
Okay.
Yeah, pull 53 feet right up in the house.
Okay.
We have to get weight permits, all that stuff.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Sometimes we'll meet them at a Walmart or something like that, but if they had a big enough area, we would go right to the house.
Okay. And how was on the financial end, how was that compared to what you were doing with the general freight and trucking?
Very lucrative.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, very
More
lucrative. Oh, yes. I mean, to give you an example, each trailer holded about 6 cars. That car coming out of Texas, if it's a high dollar unit, that car could pay $2,000 a car. And you got $12,000 coming out of Texas coming to Wisconsin. You know what I mean? So It was very, very lucrative.
Okay, got you. So how many car haulers you have? You have 2, you said?
No, we had
started
two.
with 2, and then you grew
10.
So now you guys have 10 car haulers.
We opened more open haulers for more of the dealership work, more of the, hey, I don't want to pay for enclosed service. So we opened up that avenue.
Oh, you get a different rate for the enclosed?
Oh, absolutely.
How much is the difference?
Double
for the enclosed.
Enclosed is double.
But as a car hauler, it's still your responsibility to make sure the car is delivered in good condition.
That's correct.
So what's the difference?
The difference is not exposed to elements. People with their exotics, myself included, I don't want to see no rain touch my car. No, nothing, not a rock chip, not a nothing. Right. I want my car pristine. I'm picky like that.
Yeah.
All exotic guys are picky like that.
Yeah.
They don't play that in the elements.
Right.
That's the biggest.
Okay.
Open hauler, you could get a rock chip. That's all on a disclaimer. You're going down the road with 9 cars. I mean, a rock could hit it. Anything could happen.
Right.
And so we're like, well, you want to pay for enclosed? That trailer's a very expensive trailer.
Right.
And it's very expensive insurance.
That's a fact.
Double what a truck will cost.
So
a freight truck.
So what's the number on that? You said 2,000 per car.
2,000 per car.
Is that enclosed?
Enclosed.
Okay, got you. So on
open
with the open,
$1,000 a car.
$1,000 a car.
Yep. And we have 4 or 5 units that will go down and back and forth. Texas, Florida. That was our lane. Texas, Florida, and everything in between.
Okay. Is there a certain season where you kind of ramp up with the car hauling or
snowbirds? Yep.
Right. Okay.
Snowbirds. Yep. They want to come out of Florida or go into Florida. Usually, wintertime, fall, busy. Everything coming out.
Okay.
Of the north, and in the summer and vice versa.
Okay. So would you say so you say the car hauling business makes more in terms of margin than the general freight business, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Way more.
Way more. Way more.
Okay.
But it's a much harder business.
Gotcha.
Twice as hard.
Gotcha.
Because those cars, there's a lot of moving parts. You see those 9 car haulers going down the road, 10 car haulers. Listen, I've had my problems.
Yeah, for sure.
I had my problems.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's the car hauling. We have the general freight, and then you also do the towing and recovery, right?
Towing and recovery.
How we get into that?
Absolutely. Just another spinoff of something that we wanted to do and make sure that we can tow our own equipment. So we went out and bought a heavy wrecker, $750,000 unit to tow our own trucks.
Okay.
If there's any issues. We didn't wait for, warranty to send a tow truck from whatever state or whatever. We'll send our own.
Prior to that investment, how much had you spent on records?
Probably...
If
you got newer equipment, so it wasn't too
break
bad.
Down too much.
Yeah, not too bad. But the time that's
what I was gonna say. So why'd you see that as a
and the loads?
Because I could understand you seen that as a good investment. Like once you break down a certain amount of time, you spend all that money on records. Like we might as well buy our own. We done bought one and paying for it.
That's correct.
You
got it. You got it. You look at that payment, you be like, hey, well, let's see. If I had my own and I paid this, that's only 4 tows a year.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So
exactly.
You kind of do the math like that.
Okay.
And we just, like I said, we want to be all self-sufficient in-house and do our own thing.
Okay.
And
so you started with one wrecker.
One wrecker, one heavy wrecker.
Okay.
And then we had 8 small rollbacks for cars.
Okay, got you.
Yep.
So you started off doing it in-house, and then you started offering it to the public.
That is correct.
Did you get any contracts with anybody for records? I know like a lot of times you got to get contracts to do on like the turnpike and different places.
Absolutely. Yep. The auctions, stuff like that. We would get contracts with. None of the city work. That was on our heavy wrecker side, yes, but not the small car side.
Okay.
We had the contract for the city buses here in Milwaukee County, and just keep things moving and keep our heavy wrecker moving.
Okay. Is there a lot of politics in the tow industry?
Absolutely.
It is, right?
This is worse than trucking. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of buddy system, a lot of politics, lots, you know, on what work you get and blah, 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 So it's, It's a challenge, but hey, if it was easy, everybody'd do it, right?
That's right. So with the wrecker, how much can you make like on just like a regular tow? Like to tow a truck is like what, 10,000?
No,
on what's going on?
No, not that expensive unless you're going, from state to state. But if you're doing a recovery or something like that, 5,000.
5,000.
If you're doing just a regular tow off the road, $1,000-$1,500. Usually they're going to a dealership or somewhere local,
right?
$1,000-$1,500 a tow.
So 5,000 that person would spend, and how much is it costing you to do that? I guess if you look at like what's the margins on that? What's
your margins on
that?
That's if you account for fuel, the driver, everything on that scene, that scene will probably cost you anywhere from $600 to $800.
Okay. So that's huge margin.
Yes, yes, because the truck costs so much.
Right, because the truck costs so much.
Yeah, we sold our first wrecker and we bought a rotator. That's the one that picks the trucks up from the side of the road, rotates them back, and puts them on. That's almost $1 million unit.
Wow.
And the trucks cost so much, so you're paying for that equipment.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a fact.
You got to call those numbers for that equipment.
Man, all right. So that's the last niche, right? The wrecker, or is there another one that we're missing? That's it.
On the trucking side.
On the trucking side, so we got the car hauling, we got the wreckers, we got the general freight. How do you manage all these different businesses? Because they're all different verticals.
No sleep.
Yeah. I mean, do you have people in place that's operating on each one? Tell me about that.
Yeah, you're only good as your team, and you got to get the right people in the right place to take care of everything, because you can't do everything at once. Can't do everything on your own.
Right.
I tried that, and it does nothing but create chaos for you personally, and on the business side too. You can't do everything and see everything, and so you got to appoint people.
Yeah.
I started appointing people
to
oversee things, and that's worked out great.
So how big is the team now?
Office staff.
Office staff. Yeah.
Office staff is about 6 of us in the office.
Okay, that's not too big. That's a pretty lean team.
Yep, and they're great. They do their job.
That's really okay. So tell me about like each vertical. So like for the wreckers, you have one person.
Yep, one person for the wreckers.
Okay.
Box trucks, tractors. Auto haulers.
Okay.
Yep, and
like
the rest of the businesses.
Basically.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. And you said there's some other companies that you have started as well, right?
Absolutely.
What else do you guys got going on?
Absolutely. Our most recent adventure is we just opened our own gun store.
Okay.
We just became a federal firearms licensed dealer. And that's been great. That's fun. I love guns and cars. I love that.
How difficult was that to get into that business?
Very expensive. It's not like trucking. You can't go and say, "Hey, I have good credit. Can you finance me $500,000 worth of firearms?" It don't work that way.
Right.
And there's no business plan. Banks honestly don't like to touch that. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
It's just they don't like to touch gun stuff. You know what I mean? So that was all cash. That was all cash deal. I took $1.2 million of my own cash and opened a gun store.
How's it been so far?
It's been great. It's been great.
Great margins on guns too, I'm sure.
Not really.
Nah,
15%.
Okay.
Yeah, you're lucky to get 20% on a gun. It's the accessories is better of a margin.
Okay.
And it's one of those volume games.
Yeah.
I look at trucking as volume too. Not crazy margin on trucking.
Yeah.
It's not. Insurance costs a lot. People cost a lot. Fuel. It's volume.
Got it.
One truck, ain't gonna get it.
Got it.
150.
That's gonna make it work
for me.
No, I got it. All right. So, in looking at the different things that you have going on, so tell me like everything now. So you have how many trucks on the road for the general freight right now?
Yep, general freight. We're on about 35 tractors right now.
Okay.
65 box trucks.
Okay.
I do lease out some of those units as well. And that's for general freight. That's what we run a day. I have 10, like I said, I got 20 trucks, which I already just received 10 of them. So we should be back up to about 55 units or so, all said and done.
Okay.
Of big trucks.
Big trucks, yeah.
On the freight side, and the box trucks, we have 20 units coming October. So we should be probably around 85 units on the box trucks.
Okay. And how has the leasing been working for you?
Leasing is great.
Okay.
I love it. I love being able to give somebody a chance to do what I do. You know what I mean? To do trucking.
Yeah.
I hand them a new unit. I'm not going to sit and say it's cheap or anything like that. It costs, but it's your step to get that 2 years of tax returns to go in and buy your own unit. I don't tie them up for 5 and 6 years, 2 years, 24 months.
Got you.
That's our lease deal.
Okay.
And I know within that 2 years, if you survive, that you can go buy your own truck after that, as long as you keep your financials together. We also have Shepard Tax and Accounting.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have a tax firm.
So when they lease onto you, they're leasing onto you to purchase, or they're
I do give them the option to buy that unit at market value after the lease, but when I do the leasing, they have their own authority. They're not running under mine. I don't do.
Okay, you don't do that.
No, I do not.
You don't let anybody onto your authority.
No, I do not.
Any particular reason?
Whatever they do is my responsibility, so
Right.
they might as well be an employee.
You never done it before.
Never.
Okay.
Never. Yeah.
Okay.
It works for people.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that do it. I'm more protective over my authority. I know what it takes to keep it clean.
Right.
You know what I mean? You get a lease guy out there, he's got a driver now, and he doesn't want to drive, and he hired this guy, and let's say you got 10 guys like that, and they're rolling trucks, hitting this, hitting that. Guess whose authority that is?
Yeah.
Yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess whose insurance is going up?
Yours.
Guess who insurance is dropping you?
That's a fact.
I'm fine.
That's a
they can
fact.
be an employee.
Nah, I dig it. So, in talking about insurance and everything, with all these different verticals that you have,
Sure.
how does that work with insurance? Does it
Great.
Does it
Great.
Does it
So-
lump it all together? Yeah, tell me about it.
Absolutely. In the beginning, insurance was frowned upon in the beginning because they're like, oh, well, why are you doing this? I'm like, well, for insurance purposes. To be quite frank, no disrespect to any box driver, but non-CDL guys or box drivers that are under CDL usually don't drive as well as a CDL driver. Or an auto hauler usually is a top tier type of driver because he's looking for everything, and they usually don't drive as, they drive usually somewhat better than a regular freight driver. You know what I mean?
Right. They're more careful, more cautious. Yep.
Exactly. And I'm not saying,
just because of the job requirements.
Correct. It requires a little more.
Right.
So I split all the entities up because if one area is having a problem safety wise, I don't want the entire companies to fall for it.
Right.
All right. If that area and I need to work on it and get it safer, let me work on that area. Don't fault everything. You know what I mean? Because you can make everything fall from 1 or 2 or 3 different things that happen in a couple different areas. So split it. Everybody has their own safety score, own DOT, own authority, and it's 100% legal.
Wow. So you were able to, but you didn't do that from the did you do that from the beginning, or did you have to go back and clean it up?
I cleaned it up.
Okay.
I had bumps and bruises.
Okay.
I had bad safety score.
Gotcha.
You know?
So you had to basically get everything all over.
That's correct.
From the beginning.
That's correct.
That wasn't difficult to do?
It was. But you learn over time. You learn company structure is very important. People don't understand what company structure is, and it's very important. It's alongside with compliance and your money.
Right.
It's that important. Things happen in trucking, and when you give the ability to someone to take everything for one organization problem. Let's say you had a guy, he did something wrong, he hurt people or whatever, and they have the opportunity to sue you. If everything is not in one basket, they can only sue for that portion, that entity. That's it.
Right.
All right. And if you have one entity that owns all the equipment, you cannot sue for the equipment, only the insurance policy. Does that make sense?
No, say it one more time for me.
All right.
I think you lost me, guys.
All right.
Say it one more time.
I'll start over.
I'm listening, but just one more time.
All right. I'll start over. So let's say Shepard Companies owns all the equipment.
The umbrella company owns the equipment.
The parent company.
Yeah, parent company.
Yep. The holding, if you will.
Yep.
Owns everything.
There's some game right here. Check.
There's some real game.
There's some real game right here.
Tune in.
That's what I'm listening.
All right. So Shepard Companies owns everything. All right. But Shepard Company don't run no trucks. They just own the equipment. But Shepard Trucking, Shepard Logistics Solutions, Shepard Towing, Shepard Auto Transport now leases that equipment from Shepard companies. Anything that happens within the entity, they can sue for the policy, but they can't take you in as a whole. Let's say you got $10 million worth of equipment here, $20 million worth of equipment here. They start to come after assets. If you do something negligent enough, they'll come after assets, right? So if you tie up those assets by another holding company, those are now not accessible to the lawsuit.
Got it. Where'd you learn that?
Oh, bumps and bruises.
Where'd you learn that one?
My attorney.
That is super smart, man.
Yeah,
I love that. So, have you ever had a situation where that's been tested?
I have.
Okay.
I had one situation in a box truck. Unfortunately, I had a driver hit a state trooper.
A state trooper.
Yes.
Of all people to hit.
Yep.
Okay. So they're gonna really try to get you.
Oh yes, and without going into it deeply, the trooper was somewhat at fault too.
Right.
No warning lights.
Based on his position.
Yep. 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
It's a guy that drove for me 6 years. Never no accidents. Not one. And boom, this night this happened.
Right.
So this is how it was tested. My guy hits a state trooper who's coming over a crest of a hill. There was an accident scene. They were leaving the scene, turned the lights off, and trooper pulled into the road, talking to the city guys, cleaning the scene. My guy comes over the hill, tries to avoid him, nicks the corner of the car, spun it out, and it hurt 2 guys.
Okay.
While that scene was being cleaned up, 2-3 hours later, a tractor it basically is a traffic jam, a tractor trailer, unrelated to us, plowed into 5 vehicles, killing 4 people.
Oh, wow.
The victims' families in that accident tried to come sue us.
Wow.
And then we're like, whoa, now this can get out of line.
Yeah.
Quick. That's a lot of people.
For sure.
God forbid, I hate to be even involved with that.
Right.
But that's one of the challenges of trucking. And I admit that this is one of the problems I had. People can't keep it real and just say, hey, listen, man, we fucked up. We did this. Some people can't admit that. I'm 100%. I'm going to tell you, this is one of the problems I had. Great driver. Been with me 6 years.
Yeah.
It happened. And so our attorney said, well, if they can sue for that, then we should be able to sue for the next 2 accidents from the first scene. Unrelated to us.
Right. The rabbit hole gets deep.
That was close. But it was thrown out because of the time frame and everything else. The truck doesn't belong to us, obviously. Time frame, were there police presence? There's a lot of factors that the judge looked at, and the judge said, no, we can't do that. So that's, if we did something like that, every accident on the highway and there's a rear end in the back, everybody can sue the first accident. It doesn't work that way. So
right.
Yeah, but that was going to get ugly.
That could definitely get ugly
fast.
And that's what happens when you have these kind of situations. Everybody's looking for somebody to sue.
Always. Trucking is the target.
Yeah. They're looking for somebody to blame for the situation.
Trucking
that's an unfortunate situation for everybody, but wow. So it was tested, but you were still able to maintain and everything.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. All right, man. You just have so much going on. I want to kind of just dive into like everything. Going back to the general freight. What is your kind of like your strategy? So you're still doing Amazon, right?
Absolutely.
Amazon is your daily thing.
24/7.
24/7
for the last 9 years.
So how much Amazon are you doing compared to the general stuff now?
Oh, Amazon is a very small.
There's a small part. You kind of got out of Amazon.
Yes, we're what you call Amazon usually in each big distribution center like MKE5 or MKE1, or we have a bunch of MKEs around here. They usually use what they call the big 4 carriers. There's usually the 4 carriers that are big, that handles the bulk of work, and the overflow is then put on the load board usually.
Got you.
And we're one of the big 4 carriers, and that creates the consistent work. You get a different rate. Your rate doesn't fluctuate with the market. That's a good thing and a bad thing.
Right. Right. I can imagine.
Yeah, you'll get a peak time, and then you're like, this guy got $1,000 to go over here, but you got 700 on it.
Right.
But you got 700 every day for the year. He got $1,000 once.
There you go.
So you choose what you want to take.
Makes sense.
So it's we stay consistent. We stay what they need. They used to. Amazon doesn't like monopoly, so they like a variety of carriers, and they keep the big 4. They keep us always competing for score. They're smart,
right?
Very smart. Keeping our stuff together. Being on time, and that's one of the great things with Amazon. Like I said, they're consistent, and that we've been with them so long, and I really appreciate that. But I could not keep all my eggs in one basket. So, as far as percentages with Amazon versus freight, Amazon is probably 25, maybe 20% of our business.
Got you.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good place for people to start? Like, if you're trying to get into the business, would you recommend, hey, go check Amazon out? I
recommend Amazon for consistency's sake, but do not rely on them. You will not make it.
Right.
You will not make it. They go dry for you. I'm talking on a regular load board carrier type.
Right, like Relay.
Relay. When you're first getting in, that's a perfect cash flow opportunity. Be careful. You will run a load for nothing because they will put it out there for nothing or negative.
Right.
So that's a good place to start on the box side or tractor side, especially during peak, because you can get a lot of money together during peak. But do not rely on them.
Yeah.
No, do not rely on them. Do not rely on the load board. Rely on creating new relationships everywhere.
Got you.
Direct customers everywhere.
GTT Commercial Tires is a tire store that's designed with the owner-operator in mind. It serves as a helpful community where you are always their number one priority. Whether you're a new owner-operator or you've been driving for years, their mission is the same: to keep owner-operators in business. That's why they go above and beyond, providing superior customer service when you actually need it, educating you on proper tire care, and delivering a no BS sales experience. With 2 conveniently located stores in Richmond and Petersburg, Virginia, and almost 2,000 5-star Google reviews, they are truly raising the bar and setting a new standard in tire care. Make sure you call 1-800-991-6251 to schedule your appointment now and tell them Truck and Hustle sent you.
When you get to a company of your size, what are you guys looking at in terms of like KPIs? What are the things that, keep you up at night when you're looking at your financials? What are those things that you're kind of studying to kind of make better, improve upon? Tell me about that.
3 major costs: insurance, drivers, fuel. 3 major costs. Those are the 3 things that you must watch closely. There's a balance of quality driver cost. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Your insurance costs and your fuel. You know as well as I do. Fuel changes by $2. That could mean 80, 100,000 a month difference.
Right.
Where you get that?
Right.
Where do you fix that?
Yeah.
Where do you feel that at? You can't just let it roll.
Right.
That's when, like I was saying earlier, you got to go to your customers and say, listen, this is what's changing. Be forthcoming. Be straight up. Fuel is costing me this much more. Unfortunately, I have to raise the rate to this. Make it make sense. You constantly got to watch that. You let that flow and roll. You'll look up and you're burning $50,000 a month. You're burning $80,000 a month, and you're looking like, where's all the money going? Where is it going?
Yeah.
Fuel and quality drivers.
When you talk about quality drivers, how much money do you spend on marketing for drivers?
Actually, not much.
Okay.
We spend about $500 a week, about $2,000 a month.
Okay.
We use a number of platforms. Some people say, "Oh, don't use Craigslist. Don't use this. Use everything." At the end of the day, you have to sort them out.
Right.
Right. You can have a bad driver on any platform.
That's true.
You can have a great guy that you never thought you would have on Craigslist, because that's what he 100%. Knew he used. So there's no best way. You have to sift them out.
Yeah.
You have to check their CSA scores. You have to check their background.
Right.
Were they a problem for the last company? That's key.
Do you have any specific hiring criteria, like in terms of like time?
Sure.
Like when
sure.
you look at the MVR, yeah.
Yeah, MVRs. No more than 2 majors.
Okay.
No more than 2 minors. But you can't have both together.
Okay.
We prefer 2 years.
Prefer. It's hard to find.
Hard to find.
Yeah.
And you get some naturals.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. A lot of our box guys, I probably had a good 6 or 7 box guys that rolled into tractors, and I knew their history from driving a box.
Right.
Yes, it's a big difference with trucking, but their mentality was where I needed it to be. They do their pre-trips. They take their pictures before and after. They tire kick. They do everything right. And it's like, we have to invest in those guys and get them to a tractor stage.
Yeah.
And we started moving those guys in tractors, and they were naturals. And
I like that word, naturals, because I tell people all the time, there are some guys who just got it.
I was a natural.
Yeah.
My guy here.
And girls and women too.
And women.
Yeah,
women are very safe.
Women who are just naturals.
Yes, and naturals. And you got to give them a chance. You got to take those road tests with them.
Yeah.
And see what they have.
Yeah.
You know, I'm new. I just got out of school. All right, let's go on the road test. Road test will tell you everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What about like for safety? I'm sure you'd have safety meetings. Like
safety meetings quarterly.
Okay.
Yep. Safety bonuses quarterly.
Okay.
Yep. We go off any of our drivers that gets stopped for a road check or whatever, and you get a clean inspection, $100. Turn it in. We'll give you $100.
Okay.
Yep. Anytime, anywhere. Turn it in. It has to be the physical copy, though. You can't send me a picture.
Right.
No, because
we
need the copy so we can put that in our file.
Yeah.
And $100 every time. You get stopped 4 times this week. I don't care if you pull up on the officer and say, "Hey, give me an inspection." I don't care. I'll still give you $100.
Right.
You know?
How are you guys on driver retention?
It's not terrible. During COVID, it was bad because you know everybody played the game. And everybody wanted to get paid for nothing. It was big and during that time. The team we have now has been with us a long time. Very loyal, very good, very clean running. I can't complain. It's been great lately.
Yeah.
Now that we're growing though, you get that curve again where you gotta get new guys, learn new guys.
Right.
Are they good? So we're on that. It's time to find new people and new talent.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Nah,
it's hard.
It's definitely tough out there, man, especially in this market.
Yes.
There's so many new drivers that need to be trained up and everything like that. Do you do like training, like safety training and everything in house?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. So
what do you guys do? Like what systems do you use for that?
Absolutely. So every quarter we do a whole safety meeting. We watch videos. We watch all the do's and don'ts.
Like Smith system, stuff like that.
Oh, as far as in the trucks.
Yeah, like for safety training. Like what systems do you guys use? Like
we don't use any system.
Okay.
Yeah, our insurance company actually sends out a safety director.
Okay.
A trucking guy and a trooper of 20 years to show what he's seen, what happened, things that happen. It works out. It works out well. And you only have to do so much of that when you get a good team. Yeah. They know these. I got a lot of OGs. They know. They're super safe. But constantly, what we call beating the horse. We have to always beat the horse on the safety. That's just number one. Safety and compliance, number one.
Yeah. 100%. And I'm sure so all the drivers, they all report here. This is like the main hub for everything.
This is home. They all report here. We run Samsara for all our logs and stuff like that. Have you heard of Samsara?
Yeah, I know Samsara.
Fire. Fire. We love them.
Definitely fire.
Cameras in all units. So
now, what about do the guys ever want to transition into different verticals? Like you might have a guy from general, like, hey, I want to try to car haul.
Yes.
How do you kind of work that out?
Absolutely.
Is it like a seniority thing? Because I'm sure there's maybe more money in one vertical.
Absolutely. We get guys that want to go over to car hauling. They'll try it, and they'll, if they like it, they'll stay, or if they don't, they'll be like, put me back in the freight. Yes, right. And we let them do what they want within the company. We're fine with that, especially we know they're a great driver. Why not use them, or let them grow their resume on different things that they can do.
Yeah.
Always. We let them do anything they want.
That never becomes like an issue in-house for other guys who may want that spot?
No, because there's not many people that want to bounce around.
Okay.
No.
Most of the guys kind of stay.
They want to just sit down.
Want to stick to what they
they want to stick to what they know. And
What part of the business do you enjoy the most in terms of the different verticals?
Shepard Arms.
Shepard Arms.
The gun store.
You like the gun store.
That is fun for me.
Not the trucks at all. That's the fun thing for you.
Yes.
Okay.
The gun store is fun for me. When we open Shepard Arms, it's just been a joy. I don't even track time when I'm there.
Wow.
It's just fun.
Okay.
Super fun.
Okay. Got it. I love it, man. I love it. I think we covered most of it. Did I miss anything? I'm trying to make sure.
Oh, yeah. We do got a trucking course coming.
You have a trucking course?
Yeah, we're gonna start. We're gonna start training.
Tell me about that. What would make you start a trucking course? It's not like you know much about trucking,
right? Yep. So a couple of things. We're gonna start a trucking school. That's coming up soon.
Okay.
We're gonna, create a nice little area here, and we're gonna teach trucking.
Okay.
As far as drivers, we're gonna teach drivers,
like
driver
CDLs,
training, CDL training. Yep. Shepard.
Okay.
Yep. Shepard CDL training.
Okay.
And we also gonna start a course for people who wants to start their own trucking company.
Okay.
And a step-by-step, we call it the blueprint.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to give my blueprint, whether you think it works or not. I'm not here to say, oh, this guy said this guy said that. Listen, I'm going to tell you what I did. In 9 years, 150 units. I will teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
From where I'm from, I had nothing. I'm not special. I didn't go to college. I don't have a college education.
Yeah.
I'm not great with public speaking and all that.
Right.
But I can hustle.
No doubt. What inspired you to do this the courses?
I get a lot of people that ask me, "Hey,
how the hell did you do?
How you do this? How you do this? How you do this?" And it's like, shit, man. I can't keep sitting down and just take 100,000 people and keep telling them the game.
Right.
Listen, a game is sold, not told. Right.
That's it. But you definitely know the game.
Yeah, I know. I understand the game.
You understand the game.
I understand the game.
So when you say the blueprint, great word. What would you say if you had to put trucking in a framework and you had to say these are the things you need to understand to become a successful trucking company or investor in trucking or whatever? Like, what would you say are the pillars of a trucking company?
Yeah, the pillars. You got it right. That's gonna hold it up.
Yeah,
you got it right. Financially, you got to be disciplined. When you get a bunch of trucks and they see all the money and they're like, oh yeah, I have this amount of money. Shit could happen where you need that money to float you or keep you rolling when things aren't so well. A lot of people think, oh man, I made $1 million this day. Hey, if you made $1 million, take 200,000 and keep it, whatnot, and that 800, let it sit. Trust me.
Right.
You'll use it, or you'll find a way, or it'll benefit you another way. Be careful. Got to have discipline. Big thing, equipment serious, drivers serious. These are the things that make or break trucking. Keep insurance costs down. When you get in the game, they're hitting you hard.
Yeah.
Some people paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month for a truck, for insurance. It's hard to make it that way. But there were so many new people that came in the game without the knowledge of understanding compliance, driver fitness, great drivers, things like that creates all these accidents and problems that made insurance go up. Right. I was one of them.
Right.
I was one of them. I learned.
Right.
I said, well, what do I do? What can you do to make it well? So it's like I said, the equipment is serious. Try to get the best, newest, greatest equipment because that will keep you consistent. Consistency. Yeah. Oh, I bought this truck for $10,000. I'm gonna roll it. It's got 1,000,005 miles on it.
Right.
You won't be consistent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Is there a certain place where, like, because you have all these different verticals and all these different niches, before you, like, because when people watch this, they're gonna be like, oh man, I could start a trucking company, a car hauling company. I could do that. That might not be good advice for everybody.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So
focus on one first.
Yeah. Can you just speak to that? Like,
I will.
When do you know it's time to move into another business? Because somebody will watch your story and they'll think that what you did is easy and they could do all these different things.
Correct.
Many people aren't able to succeed in doing what you did.
Correct.
So tell me about that.
The number one thing is always understand that one business, one entity has to run flawless. I'm not going to use that word flawless because nothing runs flawless. I'm going to use one entity has to be on cruise control before your brain can even focus on the next thing. Okay, you can't have this bumpy area here in trucking. You don't have your driver pool understood. You still have bad safety scores. You have to correct that and get it running on cruise control before you make your next step. That may take a year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it takes. Master that first.
Yeah.
I recommend guys getting into trucking. Get your CDLs. Understand what the driver's doing. I can't tell somebody to do something I don't know what to do.
Right.
I need to be in a position that I understand every aspect of the business because I did it. And sometimes, like you said, you can't let drivers control, I'll do this or I'll do this. Listen, I'll get in the truck and do it myself.
Right.
You can't tell me what you're not going to do. I'm fine. I'll do it myself.
Right.
I'll get my ass. Listen, if I got to take a load now, I've only been out of the trucks about 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been every day,
Yeah.
and I'm not scared to get in the truck anytime, anywhere, anyhow. I'll
Right.
take a load. I had a situation where I had a guy was out of hours in Texas, and I didn't know nothing about this till 4 p.m. And I flew straight out of here, straight to Texas.
Yeah.
I had a load of cars going to an event, a race event.
Okay.
If they're not there, they're disqualified. It's $100,000 event here.
Yeah.
They can win $100,000. I say, hey, I'm out of hours. I'll get there, 12 hours late. Oh no, that's not happening.
Right.
Hop the plane. My wife and I
Yeah.
jump right in the truck. Hey, get back there. Go to sleep. I'll drive all night.
Right.
Made it. But that's what it takes.
That's what it takes.
Yep.
That's what people don't understand.
You got to be willing to do what others won't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm willing to do that.
No doubt. What are you bad at? What are you not good at?
Oh, what am I not good at?
What's your weaknesses in business?
Listen, I ain't perfect by no means. Weaknesses in business.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may think this is bad, but I'm not scared of nothing. Okay? To me, it's good. So I don't care if it don't work. I'm not scared of that. Sometimes I jump 2 feet in and I should have waited a little bit. Sometimes I move forward too quick on certain things. That's, I think, my weakness and my problem. But like I said, at the end of the day, I don't care if it works or not. I'm going to do what I do.
Right.
And it's been working. But if it doesn't, I'm not scared of it.
You're not afraid of risk.
Never. I'll dust myself off and try it again.
Has that ever backfired on you, not being afraid?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What would you say if you could think of one thing that stands out? What would you say is a time when you took a risk where maybe you shouldn't have?
I'd say on the heavy wrecker side, that was a risk because those trucks cost a ton of money. They cost a ton of money. You
Right.
need business for that.
Right.
And I know the OGs around here for heavy wreckers, they got it sold up. I respect that. I'm like, listen, I just need to tow my own stuff, I'd be happy with that, but
Right.
that was a risk and it cost me.
It cost you.
Yeah, you start looking like, whoa. Now this is starting to outweigh how much I need these trucks because I'm preaching about these new units. Well, am I going to need this heavy wrecker so much?
Right.
Right. But I just started, so I was wasting a lot of money in the beginning, but once I started to make those relationships, with all my box truck guys, even the guys I leased to, you started reaching out to all the Amazon guys that I do business side by side with. Hey, listen, we tow. And we know this game. Hey, if I have to bring a truck to you to move your Amazon load, let you take one of ours to keep it rolling and keep your Amazon account clean, I'll do so. And you started, moving it like that. Then it started to become something.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Got you. Are you able to talk about revenue for the company?
Sure.
Where are you guys at? Like, what did you guys do last year? Revenue, top line?
Sure. $14 million.
14.
We're a $14 million company.
Okay.
From 0 to 14 million.
Not bad at all.
In 9 years.
9 years.
So it's been great. I can't complain. I can't thank our team and our people enough. Some guys have been with us from the beginning, loyal.
Yeah.
Great, great people.
Yeah.
And I try my best to pay them the best,
Right.
And I give them that loyalty pay, You know what I mean?
The loyalty pay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here without them, you know?
No doubt. No, for sure. So where do you see this thing going, man? Because it seems like you're like the Walt Disney of trucking, man. Like whatever you could imagine, you're going to make it happen.
Yeah, honestly, we were growing real fast, and I slowed down during the pandemic. We slowed down, and I was like, whoa, because there was a lot of trucks sitting. We started burning a lot of money. Drivers was really sick. Drivers was lying about sick. And drivers was quitting and going to these local companies that was paying ridiculous because of the shortage.
Right.
You know, people that you couldn't compete with. You know what I mean? You got a local company over here. Yeah, we'll pay you $3,500 a week to go 100 miles a day. You're home every day.
Right.
Whoa! I can't compete with that.
Yeah.
So you start losing your non-loyal guys, and trucks are sitting, and I'm like, hey, well, I'm scared to grow right now. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know the future here. I don't understand. You know, I just don't want to grow anymore. I turned down, you know, some trucks. I took half of what I ordered, and it was just scary.
Yeah.
Burning a lot of cash, a lot of money, insurance.
Right.
You know. And it was like, whoa, that's scary.
Yeah.
You know, granted, it is hopefully a once in a lifetime type of thing, COVID.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
I hope nothing ever happens like that again.
For sure.
But once that little period stopped and we were the only things rolling because it was COVID, you know, we're essential. Trucks had to move.
Right.
It started to be great because you've seen the market. Freight rates through the roof. You know, it's like, ooh. You can use some of this to secure new guys. You can do this. You can do this. But then you got to be careful. You start giving out too much. And then when the rates come back down to normal, that guy's going to be pissed. You start talking about changing his money.
Right. That's a fact.
You got to be careful with that.
That's a fact. How much of your success would you attribute to luck?
Everybody's lucky. We were lucky to wake up every day.
That's a fact. But even in like being positioned in where you were positioned, being in the right place at the right time, you know, when you think about that, do you think that based on where you were and where you were at with the company, it's like you were kind of positioned perfectly to grow at that level that you grew, or is it like no, it has nothing to do with that because you still had to do the work to make it happen.
I was about to say that exactly. I'm going to say no to the luck because I could sit on my ass. This didn't fall into our lap.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We didn't wake up and say, oh, shit, man, made millions of dollars today because I did nothing. It just came.
That's a fact.
No. It's hard work, grinding. It's sacrifice. You sacrifice time with your family, time with everything, your kids growing up, personal time, whatever. It's a sacrifice to get it rolling. You know, but then that's one of the benefits once it's rolling.
Yeah.
Time. At the end of the day, fuck the money. I want that time.
That's right.
You know,
that's
time
right.
with your family, be able to not worry about the money side and enjoy life.
Yeah.
You know?
And I ask that question because people are always trying to find like where the luck is at.
Yeah.
When they see something that is a success, they're like,
yeah, there
has to be something that you know made this happen that's outside of just hard work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like hearing those guys that be like, yeah, shit, I ain't working those 7 days. I'm not working 7 days. I'm not working the weekends. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing any of that. See? That's that mindset that keeps you where you are.
Yeah, yeah.
And man, you got to be willing to do what others will not.
Do you do anything for like personal development? You into reading, like anything like that?
Cars.
That's your thing.
That's my thing.
Okay.
Personal development is my cars, man.
How many cars you own?
Oh man. I decline to comment.
More than 10?
Yes.
More than 20?
No.
So 15?
In there.
And you said you're more so into the old schools?
Old schools.
But we have some exotics also?
Old schools is okay. I'm more into modern muscle. Yeah, exotics, fast, crazy, 2,000 horsepower stuff.
Like what, Lamborghinis?
Yeah, Lamborghinis,
Ferraris?
yeah. Lamborghini Aventadors, Ferraris, McLaren, 765s.
You got all those? Jesus Christ.
I decline to comment.
Y'all better take his damn trucking course. Hold on. So you said McLaren, Lamborghini, Aventador?
Yeah.
God damn. What's that one? This was one over here in the shot.
Oh yeah, Tesla, Plaids, all that type of stuff. It's crazy stuff. 1,000 horsepower.
When do you get a chance to drive them, man?
See, that's what we were talking about. That freedom and time. When you get stuff,
Well,
when it's a well-oiled machine, you can step away and do a little something. Yeah. But when you're constantly doing things, I do continue to grow. And sometimes I say, why did I start this? Why did I start this project? We just bought a bakery recently. It's called the Lunchbox.
You're just doing things just for the hell of it now at this point.
Yeah. and that's one of those things. Yeah, it's kind of new and it's like, man, my wife owns a pottery shop. It's called Just Killing Time.
Okay.
You know, like a kiln. Yeah, you got it. It's Just Killing Time.
He's quick. He's swift.
He's quick. Yeah.
Okay.
Just Killing Time.
Just
One of the
Killing
biggest
Time.
pottery shops in the country.
Okay.
Here, and she's been in business it'll be 11 years now.
Okay.
And I'm so proud of her with that, you know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy that we do pottery too. That's it's crazy. But
pottery. So the bakery.
Bakery, yeah.
What do you like? Tell me about that. Like,
so we just acquired that. Yeah, we just acquired it. We're gonna do a little less bakery, and we're gonna do more of a lunch spot. Something like soup, salads, small cookies, cakes. Not full-fledged bakeries like cannolis and all that crazy stuff. Just a little tamed down, a nice lunch spot.
So you didn't build it from the ground up; you acquired it.
I acquired it. Yeah, it actually was formerly called Nino's Bakery.
Okay.
Nino's has been in the Milwaukee area for 50 years plus.
Okay.
So it was great to acquire.
Was it like the stress or something like that, or like what made you find that opportunity?
It's funny because we didn't own the pottery shop's building, and they refused to sell it to us.
Okay.
So they like, well, we're not selling it to you, but here, renew this lease for $7,000 a month. And I'm like, what else can we do?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, we see across the street, Nino's is for sale. So luckily, we caught it fast on the market.
Okay.
And we bought Nino's originally to put the pottery shop there.
Got you.
But they then said, after we buy Nino's and spend a ton of cash, hey, we'll sell you the building now. After we said we're not signing that contract, that lease
crazy.
again. I'm like, oh, shit. Now you got to come out this much more money. So I said, well, we'll just keep Nino's and then we'll convert it to the Lunchbox, called the Lunchbox, and Just Killing Time will stay where it is.
Okay.
And we bought Just Killing Time as well, and it was all set, and that's been great too.
Got it.
Some commercial real estate under the belt, and
I was gonna say, I'm sure you're into real estate as well.
Yeah, Airbnb, commercial, yeah, Airbnb as well.
Okay. What about investing? You into like cryptocurrency, any of that?
I'm not. I'm gonna tell you why. I don't understand that cryptocurrency. I get it, but I don't understand it.
Okay.
And so I'm scared.
You're not sold on it yet.
Not sold.
What about stocks, like traditional stocks?
Nothing. Amazon.
Okay.
Apple.
The ones that are gonna win for sure.
Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's about it.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I mean, that money's gonna work for you regardless.
For sure.
Any other businesses you got going on? Because I didn't even know about this bakery thing, man.
Yeah,
You just popped that one up.
That was left field, right?
That was left field. What else you guys got going on?
That is it. We have Shepard Tax and Accounting.
You didn't say the tax and accounting. You told me that earlier.
Oh, yes.
Did you? Did he say that?
I think
he
I
did
said
say.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tax and accounting.
Tax and Accounting. So we had this wonderful lady that used to do our taxes. Her name is Jenny, and she worked for a firm. And one day she called me and she says, hey, can you afford XYZ for me to come in-house? And I said, absolutely. And I said, well, while you're here, can we start an accounting business together? And all our trucking friends or all our other friends that have businesses, we can take care of them.
Smart.
And so we started Shepard Tax and Accounting, and we brought her in-house. She's been with us now 2 years, and it's been great.
Oh, wow.
Taxes is always on point. That's number one thing. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't play games with the alphabet boys. Okay, don't play games with the ATF. Don't play games with the IRS. Don't play games with the DEA. Nobody. If you want to be successful, because that'll just take you straight back.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the number one thing that's going to get you to grow. Financials.
Yeah.
If they don't see financials, even if you ain't making money, they want to see the cash flow.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow. I'm inspired, man. God damn, you got a lot going on, man. This is
crazy.
This is crazy. Definitely crazy. I don't know, like, you just built this world, or you guys have built this world that's just evolving every day.
Yeah, every day.
Man. All right. Well, listen, I think we covered it quick. What we about hour and a half in? I guess we're gonna start wrapping it up, man. We could talk all day, but
yeah.
Listen, so customarily on this show, we always allow our guests to give a final thought, which I kind of have an idea what yours is going to be.
Sure.
And we also let everybody know where they can connect with you, on social media, so forth, website, all that. Sure. So let them know where they can connect with you. And then lastly, let's get into that final thought, which could be entrepreneurial, spiritual, wherever you want to go with it.
Sure.
Parting words.
Sure. Parting words. Where you can connect with me on our websites at shepardtrucking.com or shepardarms.com. We also have justkillingtime.com. A bunch of sites that you can check us out. One of my number one thoughts is my number one when I wake up in the morning is I'm a very humble guy, and I always try to remain that way. People start to make a little money, they start to change, they start to do things and stuff. I don't. And so my number one saying is stay humble and hustle hard.
I love that.
And anything is possible. People think, I didn't go to school. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. Listen, it don't matter. Man, the best lesson is in the blessing, right? The best lesson is doing what you don't know. Learn it. It can happen. You know, people are worried, what if this happened? What if I lose my money? So what? What if you do? What if it work?
There you go.
Nobody think about if it work, right? What if it failed? They always want to say that. Listen, anything can happen. Hey, don't be scared. Stay hungry. Keep going.
No doubt. And when could we expect that course to come out, man?
Man, soon. We're working on it right now.
Okay.
Yes, we're working on it right now. Our websites are getting redesigned. Sorry, they're a little out of line. It's been 5 years since I even looked at them. We're getting it together.
Right.
So,
and that'll be A to Z, how to pretty much start
all Shepard companies. Yep.
How to get into these different niches and just give you an idea.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about from number one, getting your authority, to understanding insurance, drivers, understanding equipment, how to obtain the best equipment, how to maintain accounts, just etiquette, trucking etiquette as a whole, how to be compliant, how serious compliance is. Like we briefly talked earlier, compliance is everything. That'll stop everything. You got to run it straight and narrow. Don't play. Don't play games.
No doubt.
So
I expect that there's going to be a few people beating down your door for this course, especially after this airs. Listen, Hustle fam, if you can't respect that, your whole perspective is whack. This has been an amazing show, amazing experience. I wish you guys could see what I see around me. You only get a little piece of it, but there's a super dope business, super great people, like he said, humble. Man, I'm amazed. Like I said, very impressed, man. Continued success.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Just keep on going, man. Keep on inspiring us and keep on building this thing as far out as you can, imagination could stretch.
Yeah.
Around this time, what do we always say? If you smell something burning, it's only your desire. Myself, Damian Shepard, Shepard Trucking. We are out.
If you twisted, confused, or stuck about trucks, don't be dumb. This is the place to come. Truck and hustle.